Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Lost in Space Season 2, Episode 3. It is called Echoes. So, full spoilers for the episode as always. And this episode was more or less kind of what we thought it would be. It was the arriving at the ship, the station, and being like, why is it so eerily quiet? Why is there no one here? Now, admittedly, it wasn't quite as dark as maybe we thought. We thought they were just going to be all but dead.
Yeah, they just evacuated most of it.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised to see another ship arrive at the end. And I was like, oh, wait, okay, they're all fine. They're all just kind of elsewhere in space for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, we get that from the little girl anyway, so
Yeah.
I wasn't really that surprised, but...
Yeah, I say a minute. 7 months is more accurate. But still.
Yeah.
So clearly they came in to check because, again, the reason why they came in now made sense. It was like, no, once, because a ship docked with the station, we got a ping.
We got an alert and thought, well, we should probably check that out.
Yeah, so that all makes sense. Honestly, the episode I thought was pretty solid. Probably my favourite of the three so far because it was more directly related to the robot stuff because there was some teasing of... Obviously, there was some actual horror of, like, you know, the evil robot chasing around. No, not SAR. This was Scarecrow, as we find out later.
Yeah, I thought they were just going to call it Tar for a while, but I guess Scarecrow will do.
Well, they didn't add a name because they teased these big doors in season 1, and then this episode kind of confirmed what was behind them was one of them.
Well, half of one of them.
Well, half of one of them. And I mean, the episode ends with, you know, what Adler saying, "Hey, let's go through the Looking Glass Robinsons." So presumably next episode we're going to get some answers as to exactly how much they knew beforehand and
I would hope so.
What they're up to. I'm actually genuinely not sure because I figured we'd spend a couple of episodes with the ship being empty, them deciding what to do next, and then we'd go elsewhere, and they'd still be alone. I'm genuinely not sure where it's going now that we've got other people coming back onto the main ship.
Yeah, it's kind of surprised that we're linking back up with, you know, the bulk of everyone else in essentially at the end of episode 3.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll, if they're not already all there by the start of the next episode, they'll probably be filtering in over it. So.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to come back to the ship straight away or if they're going to go down to whatever planet they've been on for a bit first and kind of help out with them, you know, packing everything up.
Yeah. Genuinely not sure. That said, I have no reason to necessarily worry because pacing so far has been pretty solid in terms of everything it's been doing. It feels like a waste of time speculating negatively that maybe it'll slow down again once everyone's back together. And...
Yeah, I wasn't even going to bother.
Yeah, because like I say, this one was solid. The characters got split up. Smith was supposed to be handcuffed on the ship, but got out almost immediately. I kind of liked how they played that. It was like, yeah, of course she's out. Like there was no, they didn't try to play like a surprise. It was just like, yeah, here she is. This is how quick it was. Like,
it was nothing.
Yeah, and she goes on a little trip. She has some flashbacks.
Could have done without the flashbacks, if I'm honest.
That's fair. The flashbacks didn't add a whole lot. It was basically just how much of a little dick she was as a kid. Her doing one of her scams as an adult.
Yeah, I felt like we kind of got all that in season 1, though, that she was a terrible person already.
Pretty much. Although, I will say the one we did need was to remind us of a certain person she killed because it became very relevant later on. I think we needed that.
Sure. I think you could have played it without doing the entire flashback anyway, though. Like... because we get it, you know, in the you know, when she's in the camera room, you know, with the videos, so you see it there anyway.
Well, yeah, but I mean, sure. I mean, they would have had to have focused more on the actual footage then to like really emphasize it.
Yeah.
I don't think what they showed was enough because it sort of shows you it briefly and then she jumps to a flashback because it makes her think of it. If you take out the flashback, I think you have to emphasize the actual footage more.
I agree. But I think it's a really easy fix, is what I'm saying.
Because I think it would have bothered both of us had it not been brought up, and then when we saw the photo, because the little girl Samantha we find has the photo, and it turns out that this was her dad, and her dad's dead, and we find out this is the person that Smith killed.
This is where it thematically ties into a flashbacks.
If it had done a little flashback just there after we see the photo, it would have annoyed us because that's one of those little... It's almost like someone's just put like a little patchwork in, like, oh, we have to remind everyone now because it's relevant again.
Oh, absolutely. But because she was in the camera room, you know, destroying the evidence already anyway, I think just an extra focus there and that would have been fine.
Yeah, that's fair. That's it. I don't think the flashbacks were super intrusive either. They didn't really bog down the runtime that much. It wasn't like...
I found after like the second one, I found myself kind of groaning that, we're going to another one. But they're not the worst.
Yeah, there was only 3. They weren't like... This wasn't like an episode of Arrow where the flashbacks are like 20-30% of the episode. It wasn't
No,
like that.
they're not. It's not Arrow levels. Come on, I'm being reasonable here.
But yeah, so the other characters are together for a bit, but when it seems like something dangerous might be going on, because they get to the cafeteria, because first of all, there's no one around in the deck, and it's like, this is weird. They get to the cafeteria, and there's like chairs are toppled over, and there's food just lying there as if it's just people ran in a rush. There was no like quiet, exit.
They assume that there's work being done, so they're all on another floor for whatever reason, and scheduled maintenance, whatever.
Yeah, which obviously we know is like the chances of that being the real case are
remarkably low.
But I mean, fair enough for their sakes. But they get split up afterwards. It's because of what Smith's doing actually. That ends up dropping down some of the blast doors, and because of that, even because the kids are separated first because they're told to go back to the ship, but then Penny and Will are separated from Judy because the blast doors come down. That happens because to get into the security areas, Smith sets a fire to set off the fire alarms, which honestly makes a lot of sense that would maybe override some of the security precautions.
Suddenly it's safety, just whatever way gets you out.
Yeah. So she gets into this area, and her whole deal here is she's basically trying to retcon her face and existence into the system as Dr. Smith. She changes the first name, she takes a new photo, does a couple of tries.
Changes the type of doctor.
Yeah, she's like, I can't pretend I'm a pediatrician. I can be a therapist. I'll pretend I'm a therapist.
Yeah.
Really smart. We even see the Doctor again, who is played by the kid who played, or the kid. Well, he was the kid in the original Lost in Space. Is that actor? Obviously, he's far from being a kid now. So I thought that all made sense. I like that even though she's not directly trying to mess everyone else's like day up, she's still inadvertently doing it anyway. Like what she's doing for herself is just leaving a trail.
This one is a lot. A lot less malicious than ever before. It's selfish in the sense that she's doing it to do her own thing, but I don't think she's even thinking that this will cause a problem for them. I don't think it even crosses her mind.
No, but of course it does put them in a lot of danger because once the Scarecrow robot is out and about, like all of a sudden the kids are all separated and there's danger to be had. Judy runs into there's like a sort of wall of plaques of like fallen astronauts and stuff, and one of them's her father. Yeah. So that's cool. I'm willing to bet that a lot of the other names on that wall are probably Easter eggs for either people who work on the show or maybe people from the original show or something.
Probably, yeah.
That'd be my guess. But she runs into this young Samantha, this girl who's on her own, very newt from Aliens. It's hard not to conjure
I was
up.
getting that because especially in this episode as well, which kind of feels a bit like Alien.
Yeah. If anything, I'm like. Because obviously at this point I didn't necessarily expect everyone to come back, or at least hint that they're coming back. I mean, something could happen where they don't even get to meet everyone else again, for all we know. But
it could.
But I genuinely expected she's going to be part of the crew now. She's going to be part of the main group, and we're going to have I mean, obviously Will's pretty young, but he's not this young. Will, especially since between season 1 and 2, he's grown a couple of years, and he's.
I was noticing it, like John. It's been there the whole season, but I noticed it even more this episode. For whatever reason. He's
walking next to Penny now. He's the same height. That wasn't the case last season.
Yeah,
he's just at that age where 1 year makes that difference. Yeah. And to be fair, they had the 7-month time jump, so it wasn't ridiculous in the show as well.
7 months I can buy it. Yeah. At that age specifically.
Oh yeah, I remember when I was in school, you'd leave for summer, break, and then you come back after summer, and like half the people in the class have all,
and that's only a couple of months.
Yeah, so because I remember because I think I did that a year early. Me and a couple other people did it a year early. So we looked really tall for like a year, and I'm not tall at all. I'm like average height, but like for a year in school life, everyone thought it was tall.
No, I was one of the last ones in terms of the height. And again, I'm pretty average now. Like I don't feel particularly short or tall, but I was like the short one for a long time. And then now, there's plenty of people taller than me, but I don't feel small.
Yeah, I'm 5'9", 5'10". I'm not.
Yeah, I'm like 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah,
so.
I am neither tall nor short, but. For a couple of years, or for 1 year in school, I was a giant compared to half the other people. So,
I bet you lorded it over them. Smug prick.
I just wanted to be left alone. That's typically my mode. But anyway, so Penny, we discover pretended she used to be into horses. There's a nice little fake out scare, which this show can get away with because it is a little bit more family orientated. where there's something's coming into the dining room, and I did like the idea that we set up because Don's not strong enough to walk around yet, so he's still on the ship and he's got his little IV and he's going around. But he's actually in the Jupiter, and he's because of where the dock is like a circular design, he can actually see parts of the station. So he's like watching them in the dining room. So he's actually direct. He's like, "Hey, there's something coming," and they're hiding. So that was a fun mechanic.
Can't make it out, but can just see movement. And I mean, I assume he's just seeing like, okay, the shadows and in the lights that it's causing, and go right, there's something. Yeah,
well, what was good is when the actual Scarecrow showed up later, it was a very clear red light. So it was like, okay, we know that's the dangerous thing. There was no second fake out. But the first time it ended up in a horse, like, because Penny and Will are behind the table, and then they slowly rise up, and it's like, oh shit, it's a horse. They do that.
That's one of the things that bugs me. If you're hiding, stay bloody hidden. And then you do it again when it's actually the alien. I'm like, just stop it.
It is a trope. It's not a trope that bothers me for some reason. I don't know if it's just because I guess in the context of this show where it's meant to have a fun adventure vibe, I'm okay with it.
Sure.
If it was like a serious like R-rated horror where it's supposed to be the most terrifying thing ever and taken very seriously, it might take me out of it. But in this, if it's the tone.
In other episodes, it wouldn't bother me as much. I think this one, where they were very clearly doing their like alien kind of style episode, it bothered me a little bit more than it could have done.
Yeah, so they're in there. I mean, we find out that Penny faked being into horses as a kid because her mother was into horses, just so she'd have something to bond over. Because Will has a science with her. Judy's just the brainiac, so she wanted to bond over something. So we learn about that. There's a fun little beat where John starts singing. What do you call it?
I can't remember the song.
I can't remember the name of the song. It's Space Cowboy, Gangster of Love, that one. But he starts yelling that to distract the robot and trap it in the thing, which is how they deal with that. And Judy has a few moments with Samantha, sort of encouraging her and saying, "Hey, you survived this long, and that's probably because your dad's still part of you." Because she's a very cynical little girl. She's like, "That's just what people say to make people feel better. My dad's dead." It's like, well, yeah, but you survived with no training. That must have come. So that I mean, that's some passed down skills and some whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she seems to be doing fine.
Yeah. So yeah. So that was pretty much the bulk of the episode. It was good fun.
A couple of things that I really liked in this section. I thought that some good comedy. Like Don being too late with, "Hey guys, I think there's a horse."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yep, timely as ever."
There was another good one at the end actually, when Adler showed up and he's like, "Hey, we have to leave right now," and then John and that's like, "No, we contained it. We were able to contain it." And Don jumps in with, "Yeah, I was very important in the operation of containment. I was the eyes, I was the ears," and then Maureen just jumps in with, "And mostly the mouth."
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, so it's got
one of the other things I
going.
really liked, though, in terms of the horror angle of it, and they're walking around, is to just mute the comms instead of like having that awkward moment where someone tries to say something and they get overheard, and and it's one of those false danger things. So it can often be kind of irritating and tropey. They're just smart enough to just go, right, just mute. There's no danger of that happening. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that was a good moment because Judy turns hers off because they're crawling like a vent, and then the vent underneath has the Scarecrow crawling around, and they're all worried for a minute because she's not responding, and we know it's just because she's staying quiet because
but the first thing she did was mute it so that if any of the others talk, it won't go off and the robot will hear it.
That was smart. That's good. I'd like to think most people would think of that in the situation, but I'm calling it smart on behalf of the writers who tend to not bother with that.
It's one of those things that is often overlooked intentionally for the sake of they can have them interrupt and have the easy drama of it.
And they kind of get away with it usually because you're like, okay, you're caught up in the moment, you don't think of it. That's the get out, is they didn't think of it. The character didn't think of it in the moment. But it's nice for a change for them to go, no, first things first, mute that because it might make a noise.
Yeah, I think that's why it stood out to me immediately. I was like, oh, that was refreshing.
No, that's very good. Very good. So I liked all the mechanics of Dawn watching and everyone running around. It was good fun. Big thing towards the end for the search for the actual robot, though. is that Samantha told Judy, we don't get to hear all of this, it's not until the end when she tells Will, which is kind of a nice touch, is that, because Will's the one who it means the most to, so him hearing it is when we should hear it. And we hear that, no, when the SAR was here and it was attacking people, they said there was another robot with a blue light who was defending people, and it's like, oh, so good robot was being good guy and remained being good guy, and it's just a nice. So it's hopeful that he's out there somewhere, that there's a clue on board maybe to his whereabouts.
Yeah,
but
I feel like we need a name for this robot, because we've got SAR, we've got Scarecrow, and then we've just got good robot.
He's the robot.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like we could be more distinctive.
That's what they're calling him. He's the robot.
I know. I feel like they need to do a better job now that there's 3. You can't just keep calling it the robot.
Call him the Gangster of Love.
That'll do. I'll allow it.
Bit of a mouthful. The Gangster of Love.
I would laugh so hard just watching that robot respond to that.
Oh dear. But yeah, no, solid episode. Probably my favourite of the 3 so far. Curious to see where it goes now. Because I wasn't even that attached to like finding out what was behind that door in season 1. Clearly they had something planned, but I was quite happy with everyone just being on their own now and just being like, okay, let's just survive.
Yeah, I think that once we learned that they knew about some of the alien tech with the engines, I think we just figured, oh, there's just the engine behind there, right?
Yeah, but no, we
didn't think it was that interesting. We just thought, oh, okay, there's just tech there.
So we'll see.
There's more. Yeah.
So I mean, again, no, them joining up with everyone else does kind of make the title feel a little bit. I mean, they're in a different system now, at least, though. I mean, everyone's technically been thrown across the galaxy, so they are technically lost in space.
But they're all lost in space together.
Yes. So, but hey.
Yeah, I will say I was looking forward to having a season of them kind of on their own. And that doesn't mean this will be bad or there will be anything wrong if we are all back together as a larger group now after this.
We'll see how
just
long.
On expectations.
Yeah, we'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they'll take big out for most of the season again, like they were last season. Because I mean, if you remember last season, it was like from episode 3 onwards that everyone was back on the planet together and they met up with everyone else. So it could do that again, either on the planet or on the station. Because whatever, but or they could shake things up and. Everyone has to
maybe
run.
We'll go on a mission to find somewhere.
Yeah, maybe. That makes sense. Yeah, because it doesn't sound like they're trapped in the planet like they were last season. Like, it sounds like, no, they can come and go as they please. They've got the choice.
Yeah. The planet was just the closest one that was semi-habitable that'll do to get it until they could figure out a plan with the ship.
Yeah, because the ship was too dangerous. Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. That is episode 3 of Lost in Space. So let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Also, Happy New Year.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yes. But yeah, so you guys on Twitter at mailed_fudge for channel updates. If you want to support the show and everything we do, you can rate the podcast at Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. More people will find us that way. Share us on the social medias, and of course, you can support us financially over at patreon.com/mailfuzztv for as little as $1 per month and get some bonuses for your trouble. So go and have a look and see if you're interested. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?